This is a eBay razor I bought. I checked it by just checking if it could get hair, and it can. It seems like it does have a bevel, but it's not much more than a bevel. It's pretty good condition. Looks like it's only been honed a few times since it was bought. Basically right now I'm going over the 1.2. Probably not necessary, but I just want to make sure there's no rust, there's no microchips I can't see. Basically I'm just going through the motions of setting a bevel on an undamaged razor to ensure that I have a nice clean bevel. Alright. Now that's done. This was 1.2K. I don't know if I mentioned that. DMT. This is a 8K DMT. Now, I'm going to go to my Nakayama Karasu. It's very hard. J-Net. I don't think it's my hardest stone anymore, but it's probably my second hardest. And this is just a Majiro Nagra. I can go straight to Tomo, but I find the Majiro makes a little smoother transition coming off of my DMT. Another option I use sometimes is I have a much softer, coarser J-Net. It's an 8x3 and old vintage stone that I got, and it works in place of this stone with Majiro Slurry. I can do like a progression by going from that stone to any other of my other J-Nets. In this case, I'm going with the Majiro. There's a little wispy slurry there. cleaning Majiro slurry and swarf off of it. And this is a, it's also a Nakayama. I believe I think they sold it to me as an Asagi Kan Tomonagara. It's from Chef Knives to Go, if I remember correctly. It's a very hard stone. Works well with this. Not too hard. I actually tried this stone with another Karasu that looked very similar stone I bought, and that stone was almost as hard as this surface stone as this Karasu, and it took forever to raise a slurry, and I didn't get as good of results off of it either. So I think it was a little bit coarser than the base stone, the Hansen. So I went back to using this one, and I eventually got rid of that other Tomo. This is still the best Tomo I found for this stone. And when I started with this stone, I used to count strokes, and I would say on a typical hollow ground, I was probably doing close to 100, maybe a little bit more or less, depending on the particular razor. But I haven't counted strokes on this stone for a long time. I pretty much just go by feel at this point. Clean the Tomo slurry and swarf off of the stone and the razor. Again, I'm going to finish on water. I generally don't go very fast, particularly on water with this stone, mainly because the stone has a tendency to stick really badly. It gets the bevel polished enough that it just creates so much friction. The stone likes to skip, and that I haven't actually checked to see if it happens, but I always worry that it bangs up the edge a little bit. So I usually take an extra minute or two and just take my time going on the final stages with this stone. Keep a nice light touch. Keep a nice steady process. Even velocity when you're going up and down the stone. Don't give it any reason to catch anywhere. And that's the finished razor. There you go. And that's probably, I would say probably the slowest. Maybe I'd say maybe in Arkansas might be a little slower. Typical going from another finish to an Arkansas, because I like I've always said, with the Arkansas you can pretty much polish to infinity, and the edge will never really reach a break off point
a maximum, just kind of continually improves, which is one of the neat things I like about Arkansas. But of my stones that aren't Novakilite based, the this is probably the slowest progression I have. And I typically, with almost all my finishes, go from that. Occasionally I'll do a Dillicott, but I go through the same process, the 1.2 to the 8K DMT, and then I switch to my finisher. I do have a Koma. I don't generally use it. It doesn't seem to give much of an... I mean, there's a difference in the shave, but I wouldn't say that it's definitely better going from the Koma to this finish. So I just, I keep it as a collector's piece, and eventually, I'll break it out here and there and use it, but for the most part, the Majiro, coming off of the DMT, I like the Majiro, and then going to Tomo. I also have the Tenju, but I found the Majiro works better. They basically are interchangeable for me, but the Majiro seems to be superior. I have 2 of these now and 1 Tenju, so take that for what it's worth. I don't have a variety of stones that I've compared, but for my purposes, this Majiro or the other Majiro, either of them seem to work better than the Tenju I have. But that's the finished razor, so there you are.